Well, in addition to Anthony Fauci getting pardoned by, not Donald Trump, but Joe Biden this morning while he was still president, we do have information on the latest executive orders signed by Donald Trump. Now, this is a follow-up to the inauguration speech this morning, where Donald Trump just now, after the inaugural parade, which was held indoors thanks to the freezing climate, Donald Trump just signed 8 executive orders. I'm going to go through each of these. Spoiler alert, no crypto in these executive orders. Now, Donald Trump does say he's going back to the Oval Office to sign a host of other orders, but let's go ahead and get started with the 8 that were signed. First, there's going to be a revocation of 78 policies of the prior administration, especially those relating to immigration. So it's not entirely clear which executive orders and actions these are, but I'm sure we'll get a full list in the coming days. But basically, they're just trying to undo some of the groundwork and the policies of the Biden administration over the last 4 years. Some of this could, for example, be like the banning of the permits for the Keystone Pipeline, right? With one signature, you've just undone 78 policies like that. Yeah, Donald Trump also says he's going to go back to the White House now and pardon a lot of J6 hostages, but he has not done that yet. So we expect that to happen tonight, Donald Trump says. So stay tuned for that tonight. Before we talk about the second one, though, I do want to shout out a Border Patrol agent was killed today, 15 minutes after Donald Trump took office. This was at a traffic stop in Vermont. One of the suspects is dead. There's a second suspect that I believe is in custody. And there's also drama going on right now over Elon's salute, which was the point to the heart, and then the salute, if you will. Elon does say thank you to his supporters and then salutes to large applause. Because that large applause made a big sort of gap between when he salutes and then him saying, my heart goes out to you, some people are saying that, just look at this clip. And then Elon says nothing, he's a Nazi. And other people are saying, no, like, he just waited for the applause to finish his thought, which is my heart goes out to you. It's just the timing of when he did this wasn't appropriate. I kind of believe that, mostly because I don't think Elon is particularly, he's no Trump speaker, right? He doesn't speak as well as, quite frankly, many speakers. He's more of an engineer, right? So I could see his timing being off here. I personally don't see Elon as a Nazi, but that is some drama that is circulating right now. It's worth mentioning that. Some people think so, some people think not. Anyway, number 2, in terms of executive orders, an immediate regulation freeze to stop Biden bureaucrats from continuing to regulate. Now, this is also a very interesting, I see your comments here about the Roman salute. Right, that's another way to look at it, is sort of like this is a reference to Elon Musk's sort of readings of, ancient Rome or ancient philosophy or otherwise. Anyway, immediate regulation freeze to stop Biden bureaucrats from continuing to regulate. Now, this is interesting because it basically stops agencies in their tracks from being able to do anything. Because remember, a lot of these agencies, they can sort of interpret the law and then come up with rules and procedures to regulate the way they want to interpret the law. I'll just give an example. You look at a company or an organization like FINRA, the Financial Regulatory Organization, body, they, have a host of sort of orders from the Security and Exchange Commission, but then they can interpret those laws. And the way they often interpret those could be substantially more strict than what was actually the intention of the law. And because they're a self-regulatory organization, they can kind of get away with that. And so Donald Trump is, and I'm not saying this specifically to target FINRA, I think the people at FINRA have actually been very nice and extremely accommodating with working with us. But the point of this is just to use it as an example to say, Trump hereby is trying to say, no, you can't do anything until we come and tell you what to do. Somewhat interesting. We'll see what the implications of that are. Donald Trump also says most of the leaders of these agencies will be fired. Number 3, he talks about a temporary hiring freeze, pausing the hiring of specifically IRS agents, and wants to send those 80,000 IRS agents that were hired to go to work somewhere else, like maybe on the border. And the hiring freeze will exclude a hiring freeze for the military, no hiring freeze for the military, and some other excluded categories, which they didn't list. But I'm sure we'll get a sort of a published list of all of that in the future. But anyway, temporary hiring freeze. This is interesting because hiring for within the government and healthcare sector is usually a late cycle hiring. How would you put it? Region, or I don't know, sector, right? Like usually most of the hiring when you're closer to a recession or the end of an economic boom happens in government and healthcare. And over the past 6 months, a lot of the hiring that we've actually seen has been government and healthcare. Now the government freezing its hiring. Some people are wondering like, man, what's this going to do to payroll numbers, basically starting in March, right? Because you'll have a full February of hiring freeze. And those numbers will start showing up in March, where government hiring all of a sudden drops off a cliff. Now, maybe states will keep hiring in local governments, but it's something to pay attention to as well. Then you've got federal workers return to work full-time in person 4 to 5 days a week. So it's kind of like full-time asterisk. But anyway, in person, so getting rid of remote work for the government agencies. So this is number 4. So number 1, just to be clear, was revoking the 78 policies. Number 2, immediate regulation freeze. Number 3, the temporary hiring freeze. Number 4, return to work full time. Okay, the next one. I gotta say it. Go to meetkevin.com. Make sure you take advantage of that coupon code expiring tonight on Trumponomics. Remember, you're gonna get suggestions not only on trade perspectives, trades that I'm doing, but also real estate investing, taxes, entrepreneurship, productivity, advanced tax strategies. I think the tax strategies that are in there will save you more than, way more than the price of admission. You get lifetime access to it as well, and lifetime access to those course member live streams. So check it out over at meetkevin.com. I've got to update the pre-sale video, but hey, we've got a special coupon here, and a lot of the content has been released, and we've got a bunch of new content coming. So as more content comes out, we'll be raising that price as the coupons expire. Check it out at meetkevin.com. So number 5, every cabinet member has been directed to defeat inflation. This, in my opinion, is mostly messaging. I think this is relatively meaningless. I guess I shouldn't say meaningless. I mean, there is meaning in messaging, right, to address the cost of living crisis. But let's be real, I don't actually think that there's going to be a big move here. Note some of the things that we didn't also see, and we still got to get to number 6, but we didn't see a delayed TikTok ban. We didn't see something on drill baby drill, though that could be in the releasing the Biden orders, right? We didn't see anything on Trump tariffs yet, or ending DEI. We didn't see anything on the Gulf of Mexico or Bitcoin Reserve. Like, those are some of the things that we did not see anything on yet. Number 6 was, hey, y'all know I love asymmetric trades where the payoff could be larger than what you're trading. Well, Crypto.com is now offering a sports trading opportunity where you can trade $26. If you lose, your payout is 0. If you win, your payout is $100. And that's because Crypto.com is running a promotion for their sports trading opportunities. So if you take a look at their website here, we'll zoom out a little bit, you could trade your predictions. So if you believe a certain team is going to win or lose, whether it's in college football or pro football, bowl games, you name it, in all 50 states, you can make that trade. It cost you $26 per contract. There are fees that are sometimes up to $1.99 per one of these contracts. But if you're correct, the payout is $100. Sounds like an asymmetric trade to me. And if you want to learn more, use my link in the description down below, because you'll get a bonus at $10 towards your first trade. Well, technically after your first trade, but you know me, we always like to net these things out. So you can get started in a few simple steps. Click the link down below, create an account at crypto.com, trade contracts, and get your payment, usually within 1 business day after you win, should you win. Now, keep in mind, this is a form of commodities trading. This means that, yes, trading involves a risk and may not be appropriate for everybody. And you should consider whether this is appropriate or suitable for you. And remember that Crypto.com is sponsoring this video. Just think the promotion is actually pretty good. Again, I'm looking at it like, maybe this is going to be what finally gets Kevin into sports, taking what I love, trading, and bringing sports to it. Let's go. Again, check it out. Use my link down below for that extra $10. Keep in mind, they've also got a big Bitcoin contest going. It's a $100,000 contest where basically the top 10 sports traders will win $10,000 in Bitcoin each between now and 2 a.m. on Super Bowl Sunday. So this is a contest you're automatically entered into once you activate your USD Cash account, enable derivatives, trading contracts, right? And trade at least one sports contract before 2 a.m. on Super Bowl Sunday. Check it out via my link down below. Withdrawing from the Paris Climate Accord, along with signing a letter to the United Nations on why we're withdrawing. Bringing back free speech was a number 7, preventing the government from restricting free speech in any way, and stopping the weaponization of justice, a number 8. Now, other things talked about but not signed were things like preserving all records related to past prosecutions or persecutions to sort of enable Donald Trump to be able to expose what was happening, you've got talk about this no tax on tips, but I think that's going to be something that has to be taken up with Congress, potentially even with the strategic Bitcoin reserve. So again, there's a limit to how much a president can really pull off. Now I'm getting a notification here. It looks like Refinitiv reporting Trump revokes a 2023 Biden executive order on AI policy. Oh, interesting. So it wouldn't surprise me that you have a lot of people, in Trump's ear, especially from Silicon Valley, that are like, hey, can you get rid of this while you're at it? And so the 78, policy removals from Biden it was sort of like this catch-all opportunity to like clean up some of the regulatory burdens that certain, industries might have. Senate has confirmed Marco Rubio of Florida to serve as Secretary of State. Remember, Hillary Clinton had that under the Biden administration. Then we've got first president of Trump's cabinet to be approved, a vote of 99-0. Wow, that's actually pretty impressive. And the Senate did pass the Lincoln-Riley Act, sending it to the House for approval on a vote of 64-35. First early legislative win there. Congress is in session today, so that's why you're seeing some of this happen here. Still waiting on the Hegseth, though. He did get through committee. Now he's actually got to get approved by everyone else. As far as Vivek, the White House did put a statement out suggesting that Vivek has helped play a critical role in creating Doge and intends to run for elected office soon, which requires him remain outside of Doge based on the structure that we announced today. That sounds a little like a cop-out to me. Personally, I wonder if Vivek is sort of like escaping because he could have stayed in Doge and used it as a resume item if it did really well. Now he's just going to use it as like, I helped create it and then I ran away. I think that's a lot less powerful. I think if he stayed, it could have been a good resume item, unless he doesn't think it's going to do well, right? Like maybe he thinks Doge isn't really going to get anything done, or he was pushed out by like Elon. It's like, I got more money than you, get out of my way, So, which is entirely possible too. I don't know. I'm curious to know what you think. Let me know what you think. But anyway, okay, so that kind of gives you a little bit of an overview of what's going on with what Donald Trump just signed. Again, we're expecting getting a whole host of J6 pardons later in the evening. Fauci was pardoned along with Biden family members earlier this morning. There you have it. Thank you so very much for being here. And folks, we'll see y'all in the next one. Have a wonderful evening here, and we'll be back to a market open tomorrow morning, which is kind of exciting. Well, at least with course members. Right now we're doing market opens, by the way, with course members, in case you're wondering where those are. So if you want to be a course member, go get your lifetime access over at meetkevin.com. It's not that much, and you get that analysis every day. Currently, the 10-year Treasury is down about 5.7 basis points in futures, and the pre-market is pretty green, up about 0.5% across the board. So anyway, there you have it. Thanks again for being here, folks. See you in the next one. Goodbye and good luck.
Not advertise these things that you told us here. I feel like nobody else knows about this.
We'll try a little advertising and see how it goes.
Congratulations, man. You have done so much. People love you. People look up to you.
Kevin Paffrath there, financial analyst and YouTuber. Meet Kevin. Always great to get your take.